Feminism has been around for centuries, and whether or not the people of today realize it or not, they've been affected by its accomplishments. Today we look at the groups women begin to fall into after women's liberation has, as most believe, been completed. We will look into the claims of a supposed double standard between men and women, on whether chivalry, the code of the gentleman, has had an effect in modern times on the progress of women's activism, and feminism's effects on today's woman, and how it has caused the formation of the groups previously mentioned. I asked questions regarding opinion on these topics to women in many facets of American life.
17. I'm 18. 56 years old.
To see how different sides of these issues perceive them. The answers were sometimes uniform, and other times totally unexpected.
A slut. I think that a slut is a girl who has a bad reputation.
That has no integrity and with who she has sex with.
Is always all over a bunch of different guys.
I can't even remember what they used back then, what they called them. They might say she's easy if she put out a lot. But
A girl that sleeps around, brags about it, and she doesn't care what happens to her. It's just dirty looking.
It's not about the number of people she sleeps with. It's just about whether or not she puts any consideration of who it is she's doing it with.
There just wasn't as much talk about girls like that then as there is now.
But it's just a name that someone calls someone when they're trying to be mean.
No, I think it's their business.
It's like, who people sleep with isn't any of my business, I don't care.
The word is often used, but how often and in what ways?
Yeah. It's pretty common.
At school?
Everywhere.
Has anyone ever called you that?
Oh yeah, a lot of times. Which is hysterical because I'm a virgin.
Yeah, one time. Not really that, but called a name.
Yeah.
Just by what they hear from other people, and they don't really ask me yet.
Was it serious?
I call my friends sluts for fun.
They don't really make it public to everyone.
They just use it to hurt people.
And now, what about the guys?
A slut, a man whore.
A whore.
Jokingly, man whore.
Do you think a guy ever loses as much respect as a girl does when he sleeps around?
No.
A lot of girls are like me, and they don't have that experience like they do. Like other girls, they do it too, so they doesn't really bother them when guys are like that.
I don't have as much respect for them, but I don't know if others feel the same way as I do.
yeah, if the girl put out, she was the one that was looked down upon.
Not among other men, but what guys don't realize is women do keep track of that kind of stuff. Guy friends may think you're cool, but girls call guys sluts still. And I wish more guys knew that.
Even if you just flirt, you're known as a slut.
They don't really call guys a certain thing. It's mostly the girls that get caught all this stuff, but when guys do it, it's fun. Everyone thinks it's okay.
A girl sleeps with 5 guys, and she is supposedly considered a slut. But if a guy sleeps with 5 girls, he's the man, which I think that's disgusting.
Yeah, I would call a guy a whore.
Works hard.
There should be no double standard.
So things are unequal, but can the word, if possible, be rightly used?
The word is very rarely used properly and towards the right person.
So I do think that girls are wrongly put to names of that. A lot of them are labeled as sluts just because of the way they dress or something, but I don't call them sluts unless I know they really are sluts.
And what about the other end of the spectrum? What behavior is praised in today's women?
I think she keeps to her business. She, I guess gets good grades if she's in high school, or she does her work right.
Some think a good girl is passive. Others dismiss this as nonsense.
They react mean real fast over little things, something like that, then...
I don't look at it as oh, she's quiet, she doesn't do anything and all that stuff. I don't look at it like that.
Whatever they're showing me, I think that's them.
There's a difference between being nice and being good. Good girls, usually to me, actually carries a negative connotation. Because if you see the type of girls I hang out with, they're open-minded and liberated and speak their mind. And girls like that usually aren't considered good girls. Good girls are church-going, God-fearing, in their place, behave like ladies. And I don't like those type of people.
You don't hear about them being a slut or you don't hear about them in a lot of conflict, just generally easygoing people.
Are they pleasant? Are they positive? How they react in certain situations.
Now I dissect the origins of the good girl image, chivalry.
Yeah?
I think if you should act the way you want to be treated. So if you act like a lady, you should be treated like a lady. If you act like a gentleman, you should be treated like a gentleman. If you act rude, you should be treated rudely. Kind of like the golden rule.
I don't want to be treated like a lady. I don't want my gender to dictate how people treat me. And in the same way with a guy. I don't like guys opening doors for me. I don't like guys picking up the tab. I don't like that kind of stuff. Because that just goes by gender stereotypes. And that's what most people's definition of chivalry is based on, is stereotypes. Of the damsel in distress and the man who's out going to save her. And I don't like that. I don't respond to that.
I think that if you act that way, you expect to be treated that way. So if you're not, you're offended. I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm just like, if I acted like a lady, then I would probably expect to be treated like a lady. But if I act like a dumbass, like I should be treated like I'm stupid.
Because I don't think guys understand that concept.
Yeah, I think so. That's how I think I would like it to be.
Yeah, I would say guys have to prove themselves more. I think more with older girls maybe than the younger teenagers. Possibly the car door opened, or a door opened for them, the chair pulled out, that type of thing. Yeah.
I'm completely old school about courtship. Like, I totally think that guys should open doors and pay for meals. I totally think that.
Well, I just expect him to be himself. Like, I don't want him to be a certain way that is not himself, and then, I don't know who he really is, but I think it's an equal partnership.
I'm not a pure lady. I mean, I think that as long as you're yourself and you feel like you're a lady and you feel like you act appropriately, that's how people should treat you. But if you're like showing your boobs and all that, yeah, that's kind of pushing it. I think a guy should be a gentleman, but he should understand the fact that a woman can take care of herself. I think that he should respect that fact and still respect the fact that he needs to be a gentleman.
There are some wide differences in beliefs, even in a single age group. What do they believe the reason is behind the old way of doing things?
Gestures that most guys think are nice and considerate, like opening doors and paying for stuff, to me is degrading. Because I'm not going to think you're a gentleman if you treat me that way, because you're treating me inferior.
I think it's the right thing to do, but not all men are like that.
Well, for me at my age, I've never wanted to be equal, like in the workplace. A lot of women will put up a fight if they're not paid the same as what a man is because they can do the same job. In my case, we weren't raised like that, and so I've never changed my viewpoints on that. I don't want to be equal to the man.
If you're gonna say I'm not a slut because I made them work for it, then that's stupid because they were gonna do it anyways. People don't sleep with people because they earn it. People sleep with people because they want to.
If he's not giving it, then he shouldn't be given it. So I think they both need to earn it, not just the guy. Like, the female needs to earn respect from him as well.
There's no earning involved. Like, if you want to sleep with someone, you're going to sleep with them.
I'm going to get my respect and going to be considered a gentleman because he treats me like an equal. He treats me like a person.
I know that I don't care about feminism.
I think it's a good theory, and I think that it could encourage equality and stuff, but I think some women take it to the point where they expect special treatment.
To be a nice person, yeah, pick up the tab once in a while, but next time let me. And that to me is chivalry. That is equal human respect, not the man waiting on the woman and the woman being waited on by the man.
And now, what do these women want for themselves?
What I look for in a guy is he has to be nice.
How he treated his mother, I think that was a good way to look at the type of person that you'd want to spend your life with.
I want a guy to treat me exactly how they would treat their best friend.
Be a partner and not cater to me all the time. I want someone maybe who'll fight with me sometimes about things.
Excuse me.
I don't know. Can I start over on that one?
Sure.
Personally, I think that I think the whole, chivalry thing, I think that's really, I think that's a good thing. There's that certain percentile of women who want that.
As this attests, there is a double standard today dealing with sexual freedom supposedly achieved for both sexes. Feminism, as demonstrated, has put women in 3 groups: those who express themselves sexually and are reprimanded, the average girl who has a unique balance of freedom and respect, and those who demand a high level of respect. The dangers in the 2 extremes are that the sexually active can be so for the wrong reasons and can be compromising their health or self-worth, and those who think females by nature need to be revered separate the sexes by gender even further. Most believe that chivalry as it exists today does not promote inequality, but is beneficial in special circumstances.